Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church, and I'm here today to finish up a week of talking about some random scriptures. And today comes from Psalm 13. If you want to get your Bible out and flip there a minute, but let me back up and say, life is, well, it's interesting. Some days everything goes your way. Other days nothing seems to go your way. And I know I've said it. I'm sure you've said it, something to the effect of, that's not fair. Well, it probably isn't. But where does it say everything should be fair? Now, there is a belief that if you're a Christian, nothing will go wrong. Where does it say that? In fact, this psalm gives us a side of God and a glimpse into the human nature of people, including you and me. So let's read it. Psalm 13, beginning with the first verse. O Lord, how long will you forget me? Forever? How long will you look the other way? How long must I struggle with anguish in my soul and sorrow in my heart every day? How long will my enemies have the upper hand? Now, I'll stop here a second and say, perhaps you've experienced that or felt that. When it seems like everybody else is doing well except you. It seems like everybody else is getting what they want except you. And when we look at this world and measure things by our personal experience, sometimes we get a distorted view of what life really is. And I hope you don't do that. And I hope that if you're one of those who have struggled and struggled and struggled, for whom these verses almost look like they're talking about you, I hope you won't give up. So let's read another verse, verses 3 and 4. Turn and answer me, O Lord my God. Restore the sparkle to my eyes, or I will die. Don't let my enemies gloat, saying, we have defeated him. Don't let them rejoice at my downfall. Restore the sparkle to my eye. That I like that. I like the way that sounds. Have you ever known someone who was content with life? They just seemed to have a sparkle in their eyes and in their heart. And they went around almost oblivious to things that didn't fit that mood. Somehow they just weren't affected when things didn't go right. Now, I'm going to confess to you that I get frustrated at times. Sometimes I really get frustrated, especially when I'm working on something and I'm sure I know how to get it done, and then something goes wrong. Oh man, can I get frustrated? Now, I don't get so frustrated that I throw a fit and take it out on the dog or anything like that, but it's just really heart wrenching when those moments come. And perhaps you've had a few. Perhaps you're in one right now. And so the psalmist is saying, how long are you going to let this happen, God? How long are you going to let other people win and I lose? Now, I kind of think about a sports team. We're really competitive as a country. We don't even want to be second. We want to be first. And anything short of that is almost a failure. Shouldn't be, but we kind of look at it that way. And when someone seems to be getting ahead and I'm not, Ooh, boy, is that a lousy place to be. So the psalmist says, how long you let this happen? And then especially if they gloat about it. Uh, when I was in high school, I played some sports. And usually my school had really good teams. This one year we didn't. And I remember this team beat us in football for the first time in 20 years. Boy, did they celebrate. And it was on our home field too. It was bad. And to make matters worse, my girlfriend went to that other school. Man, they gloated and they gloated and they gloated. And a lot of us felt pretty offended by that. I still remember that one. But then I started to think, well, why not let them gloat? They won. And it's the first time in so long. Maybe they deserve a chance to celebrate. But so often we don't look at it that way. We just, how dare them do that? Well, we do it in life. Maybe not quite those same ways or those same words, but boy, we can get real resentful of someone who seems to have it easy or who seems to have everything going their way. And the psalmist, through these first four verses, have complained about that very thing. But here's the key. He doesn't stay there. It's one thing to be frustrated about losing. It's another thing to stay frustrated about it. Now, if you're losing because you're not trying hard, well, that's a different matter. If you want to get ahead by sitting down waiting for someone to hand it to you, yeah, that's probably not a good plan. But let's say you're working as hard as you can, you're doing everything that you can think of, and you're still struggling. Now we get to the important verse, verse 5. But I trust in your unfailing love. I will rejoice because you have rescued me. And then verse 6, I will sing to the Lord because he is good to me. How can this psalmist say these two things after saying so much right before it? Well, I want to suggest that it's kind of easy. The key is in that last part of verse 5, because you have rescued me. When we recognize what God has done for us, the rest doesn't really matter. Somehow, focusing on what God has done for me changes the way I look at the world around me. And I want to invite you here the last day of the week to think about this for today and for the weekend. I want to invite you to think about, what has God done for me? And keep that at the forefront of this thing up here called the mind. And see if that doesn't change the way you look at struggles. Well, thanks for listening. It's been a good week. I've enjoyed being with you. I hope I've said a few things that have made a difference in your life. If you have a need or concern, let us know. We'll do whatever we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. Till Monday, God bless you. Enjoy the weekend. Have a great, great day. I'll talk to you again